Hello.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
Welcome to Newark by Night. For a bit of change of pace, we're going to do a Q&A night. Some of our cast members were not feeling, 100%. So we were like, well, let's do a Q&A. It's been a year.
Yeah.
We've been doing Newark by Night for a year. So we thought a Q&A episode was probably a good idea. So questions and answers.
Yes.
Who wants to ask the first question?
Oh boy.
I'm assuming that somebody wants to ask us the question. It's maybe a big assumption. I don't know.
Well, Cass can ask questions if they want.
I feel like this is a good one for a little later, but we can start with this one. I thought of a really good one.
Sure.
Which is the better villain, Eileen or the second?
Ooh. Eileen.
Truth. She makes us hate her more.
Yeah, we hate Eileen more.
Hate her.
Again.
She's messed with people we love more than he messed with Feather's mom, but who cares?
I feel like Eileen's more complex, which is I appreciate. The second is number 2 is just terrifying. Yeah.
Going off of what Wax is saying, the second is a monster. This is the big bad, the evil, the Skeletor, essentially, obvious bad guy, and pretty much just wants what any kind of bad guy wants. Eileen, however, is not somebody who's just going to come in and be like, you're going to do the things that I want you to do. She's going to be sly about it. She's going to be subtle, and her viciousness is...
She's a bitch.
Yeah, she's a bitch. Which makes her all the more hateable as a result there.
So it's so this Mitzi is Thanos and is ultimately kind of out of our league to deal with. But Eileen, she's more tangible of a problem to deal with, I guess. But I hate her so much more.
We all do.
So somebody did ask a question in the chat that probably a good one to start out with for all of us, for people who haven't been watching as long. Could you each describe your characters?
You just want to go in order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am playing Prunella. She usually has blue hair. I didn't get into full. I got partially in full. She can't dress. She is a misfit ventru, a reject in all senses. She has terrible tastes. She is obnoxious to listen to, and she's a farmer. The worst possible thing a ventru could imagine is one of their children eats animals. Ugh.
Hey, purebred animals only.
Yes,
Only
I love
purebred.
a good Siamese at 3 a.m. Can't turn down a Clydesdale. Of course not.
Then why haven't you eaten Von Willebrand?
Cat is so...
Oh, wait, he's a sphinx. He's a sphinx, not a Siamese.
Yeah,
My bad.
he is a sphinx. He's a big fat sphinx.
Fireball turkey.
Crafty, can you describe Feather?
Oh. Can anyone describe Feather?
A rainbow with a knife.
A rainbow with a knife?
Good description.
Feather is my Malkavian. She is kind of likes to pretend, because let's face it, she's aware. We've all realized by this point that she's aware of what's going on. She just likes to live in pleasant denial because it's comfortable for her. But she likes to pretend that she's not a kindred, that she's just an enlightened being. She likes hiding her blood bags and having her blood bags hidden in smoothies, and she is hyper codependent on her ghoul, who is played by our other cast member, DragonOfTheDarkRose, Katie, who unfortunately isn't feeling well tonight, and just chilling, getting better, recuperating. But my girl's a mess. She's just an absolute mess.
But she's done the most damage.
Really?
More than all of us combined.
There they are.
Feather has done the most destruction and has hurt the most people.
I think I broke a door once. I mean, come on.
I've
I
hurt
think
so
I've
many
taken the
people.
most damage.
No, yes, that's fair.
Feather has done the most damage, and her ghoul
But-
has taken the most damage.
Look,
But
I've
also
been
scared us
tortured
to meet
twice. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You
also
did scare this meat. You did.
I've scared a Samitsi into fleeing though, so that's something.
So,
You do have that.
Andy, can you describe Amelia?
Sure. Amelia is a fairly recent addition to the cast. Jeremiah ran this one shot that was Oops All Ghouls, and it was set in the same Newark verse, as it were. And at the end of that game, I expressed an interest. It's like, hey, if you need an NPC or something to just come on in, just let me know. And then I ended up becoming a full-time cast member. But Amelia is somebody who was a Ventrue ghoul. She had been a ghoul for several decades. Basically, their sire was trying to groom them for the position. However, there were a certain number of faults, real or imagined, that he perceived that prevented her from breaking through and becoming embraced. On top of that, behind closed doors, he was especially abusive, and she wanted to get the fuck out, whatever it took. It took her Domitor dying in a car bomb, which she was nearby for. And then she showed up with a new identity, nothing to her name, and just told basically, it's like, okay, go here and good luck. And then she ran into this group of folks and has thus far ingratiated herself as the legal advisor to the coterie, and just generally tries to do the straight man act when everybody else is going nuts. Like, oh, you're
without
about
my
to
lawyer present.
You're a dog walker with a bunch of mutant giant chihuahuas. We're just
exactly.
like you're holding those leashes, but even Sage, the well-behaved chihuahua, is stuck in the leash.
Sometimes I'll behave.
Sometimes,
Getting
yeah.
choked. It's like somehow one of y'all
Right
wrapped
now, she
around
doesn't
her
remember
neck.
whether she was well-behaved or not. She's so
It was legit like you just showed up and say just like, I'm sorry, but welcome to my world.
And honestly, like she's just sitting there going, "Oh my god, these are the probably the dumbest group of kindred that I've ever seen. There is no like breath of like, there's no rest, there's no relaxation. Everything is horrible."
Yeah, 4
This is
dots
still a
in
better
medicine, 1 dot in int.
This is still a better position than I was in before, and I'm actually enjoying the chaos a bit.
Now I have 2 dots in int, but it took time.
Oh,
Time.
Wex, go ahead and tell us who Ollie is.
Ollie is a big old beefy Toreador
Himbo.
He's a himbo. Let's be realistic. No one lets me forget that he's a himbo. Who just wants to create art with his pigmented wax. But he is a very big, very strong individual who initially was really terrible at art, but he thought he had something special. He's gotten better, which is causing some internal conflicts for him based on some of his convictions. I won't spoil them too much, but yeah, he's finding himself in a lot of conflicted headspaces lately. But generally speaking, he's likes to use awe on people, which is actually just daunt. He just intimidates the crap out of people sometimes, accidentally intimidating is what it is.
For those who didn't pick up on it the first time he said that pigmented wax is crayons. His artwork is in crayons.
Look,
Not
look.
only that,
It's good stuff, y'all.
It's good
he
stuff.
goes full
Like,
method,
like
as
it.
you can see
I like
it
with
too.
the art being presented. Our player here goes full method.
I have a section on my wall ready for one of those.
I'm going to be sending them out soon.
Yeah, excellent.
Sergeant McIntyre chimed in after you said the thing about crayons going, oh, he's a Marine.
I mean,
It would not surprise us if Ollie was a Marine in his past.
yeah. I
He's gonna be like, yeah, I got kicked out of boot. I don't want to talk about it.
it's not canon that he was a Marine, but if things went slightly differently, he could have been a Marine.
It can be. All right, Katie. I know you're not feeling well.
The medicine is kicking in, so we are doing a little bit better.
Okay.
I'm not fully dying in bed.
Tell us who Sage is for the new people in the audience.
Well, Sage is Feather's ghoul. One of the 2 functioning brain cells of the coterie, which for as long as Sage has been Feather's ghoul, you would be surprised, because with having blood empathy and all of her other merits and flaws, you would have thought that she would have gone insane by now. But she always is basically been Feather's caretaker, even before Feather got embraced.
We were roommates.
We were roommates. We were college roommates.
Yeah.
And it's just been a hoot. They've been thick as thieves, although their relationship has been being tested.
Strained.
As said in the comments, apparently Sage is basically the star college athlete that's getting scouted by every clan out here in Newark.
Mine.
So on to the next question from the audience. This is from Teko, who is our longtime fan. What has been the favorite scene with your characters? Let's go ahead and go around the circle again. So who wants to go first? Katie, I guess.
I need a moment to think about this one. Because there's just so many good scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that always stuck out the most in my head was and Andy's gonna know too, just because we were all on that same 12-year-old mind wavelength, was when Ronaldo was starting to show he was getting his magic back. And we're all trying so hard to not giggle. And then just Andy broke, and I'm like, that's it, I broke. And we're
First off, here's what led up to it. We all had to make awareness tests.
Yeah.
Only 2 of us passed, with Sage being one of them, and I think Feather was the other. But basically, Jeremiah, because Ronaldo's focus before he lost his powers was a fictional 50s-esque ray gun, right? And he's just passively pulling the trigger. No, the rest of us don't see it, but Sage and Feather do, and his words were almost exactly quoted as, "It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but you notice that there is a little bit of discharge from the tip," and I'm just
all just biting our lips, okay, he's describing a thing, a mage is finally starting to show he's getting his power back, and we're all just sitting there
little trick of language, but I opened my mouth and started to try and describe what you saw, and electric discharge was in my head, and I didn't say the electric part. I just said discharge.
Yeah, that, and anytime Crafty and I are just on that wavelength of just sitting there being observers, and we're just both being little trolls.
No, that was one of the best days.
We're both just sitting there
I'm in character, and I see both of you out of the corner of my eye, and I'm just I can't with you guys.
and then Wex was just I don't want to hear anything about flesh tunnels from this point on. And we had mentioned flesh tunnels at least a dozen times before this.
No, when you asked the question, that was actually what the first thing that jumped to my mind was the Lost episode.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love so many things from that episode. I love the issue with the invisible wall, and I love the episode where she threw the extinguisher, because I just remember McCoy being like, "That's not what I thought you were gonna do."
Yeah.
The garlic water.
I was like, "I have more dexterity. What do you mean you didn't
Sage
think that's what I
getting
was gonna do?" Of course I'm
Sage
gonna
getting
throw it.
staked.
I got staked multiple times, all because I have
Garlic water
Kindred, she
ruins
got
my wig.
staked.
And
He
unfortunately, the recording did not survive.
No.
So most of you will not be able to see it. You just get to hear about it in
It was
past
awesome.
tense.
It was so great.
Learning curve.
No, actually, I think one of my favorite moments for Prue was probably when I, as a player, was just like, I am so fucking done with this we do nothing shit. And I was like, she runs after him. She jumps off a building. She flutters down. She runs through traffic. She jumps over cars. Do you still go after him? Yes. She's going to keep running till she leaves Jersey. All right. I am so fucking done with this guy. And we got to have like an epic battle. And it was probably one of my favorite moments for everybody. But specifically, it was my first time to be like, I never use disciplines. What do I got? Ooh, feral weapons. Let's go.
Let's do this.
All right.
Go ahead, Crafty.
Going around the circle here.
Oh man.
If you
I
don't have
want
one,
to say it's put it in your mouth.
When in doubt, put it
When
in
you
your
don't know something, you put it in your mouth.
I'm gonna lick it. I'm gonna lick it.
lick it. I'm
Like,
gonna lick
all right,
it.
roll some dice. Really? Seriously? You're gonna have her?
I feel like I need to do like at some point when I film Feather again, I need to do the audio where someone's telling me to stop licking the damn thing. You know, the Gale Baldur's Gate audio is like, stop licking the damn thing. You licked a dead spider. You did that.
I have so many audios just for that alone that I should send you.
Okay. Andy, you're our newest. What's your favorite scene with Amelia?
So it was probably my first proper game in Newark by Night. This one, like, there's been so many funny ones, but this one is the one that keeps bounding around in my mind. Was me showing up and introducing myself to the coterie and just being like, oh yeah, I'm just here, I got fired, and trying to play that whole thing off. And then Eileen, my sire's blood relative, shows up, and I'm like, I can't be here. And they're like asking specifically for me by name, and everybody's just like, no, that's cool. That's we don't know anybody like that. No, not
We
at all.
literally don't know anybody like that.
And then she leaves. I come out, and Prue is just immediately trying to interrogate me. And then Feather does her Malkavian Auspex shenanigans and peers into my mind and just sees the stuff that I endured up until that point. And it was just like, I am otherwise completely like, no, I am cool. I am confident. I am collected. Little tear coming out of my eye.
Yeah,
She just comes up and
you.
hugs Amelia and is like, it's okay. He can't hurt you anymore. And it's just like, oh no. Feels.
That's good.
Wex?
I'm gonna probably change the tone a little bit. I think for me it was the first time the group met Ronaldo, and when he like took away like all of our vampire powers or whatever. Like it allowed the goulash, exactly. It allowed us to all sort of like, I think, reflect on what being a kindred means and like how, like, for our characters, like what we've lost. And like I feel like it was good character development, and it was just a really good scene. And then then he almost died. So
Freaking Prue freaking out because Feather is just like all muted down and just like, what's up?
I love
She's
that.
freaking me out. Why is she staring at me like that? She's freaking me out.
I love that we do manage to switch from the silly, the comedic, and the serious, and we just kind of bounce back and forth.
Because it's a real life.
Yeah, because there's comedy, but the comedy is sort of mixed in. But So our next questions come from, again, Robin the Goddess, a very inquisitive Zamiti we have in the audience.
She's trying to figure us out.
Do your characters still believe in happy endings? And if so, what will your character's happy ending be? Go around the circle. Katie, what's a happy ending for Sage? And does she believe in them?
That is a very complicated question at the moment, because when making Sage, her goal was basically just take care of Feather no matter what it takes. And now with that whole, hey, maybe becoming a free ghoul, it's very difficult. As a player, I think her happy ending would either be, and this is going to sound very, very sad, but this is how I would see Sage's happy ending, either sacrificing herself for the coterie or getting embraced.
It's a happy beginning or a really sad ending.
Well,
at the moment,
with her relationship with Feather, getting embraced is sort of like a release in some ways, so I get it.
yes and no, because with blood empathy, Sage knows that she will no longer have that connection with Feather, and it's a very complicated situation for Sage. Does she believe in happy endings? Yeah. With her having a difficult life, even before all of this, she believes that everyone can have a happy ending if they work hard for it.
All right. Mouse. Does Prue believe in happy endings? And
no, I don't think she can. The humor aside, she was a doctor. She watched lives be made or break all the time. It drove her to have issues in life that led to the issues she has in post life. So no, she would think everything is just the roll of the dice. She would be very cynical even now. But nah, she doesn't think that there's some happy tidy ending awaiting her. She has goals, but I don't know what a happy ending would probably be. A happy ending for her would be establishing a clothing line, a brand, and Bellagio being proud of her.
Oh
my goodness.
If I could pick out a happy ending, I'd be like, she wouldn't hate that.
All right. Crafty, what's Feather? Does Feather believe in happy endings, and what would it be?
Feather does not believe in happy endings. Even when she was alive, she didn't believe happy endings were a thing. Because she comes from a broken home. Her parents divorced. But they didn't her father had an affair when she was younger, and she caught him and told her not to ever tell anyone. And her mother found out a few years later when she was in high school by reading her journal to make sure I'm just trying to make sure she's not on drugs, sort of deal. And found out about the affair because the only outlet Feather had was writing about stuff in journals. And her mother blamed her for the life falling apart. So she stopped believing in happy endings. And honestly, if the happiest ending for her right now would be for the voices to stop. So as a Malkavian, the only happy ending for her is one where she's either in torpor or dead. Little dark. Feather's bubbly, but she's not pastel.
Yeah, this is why Sage protects her.
This is the 7 nuclear missiles sound that's been going around on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I see Feather and Torpor like 100 years from now as like a Methuselah. That's terrifying. Feather being a torpor kindred that's like someday going to be really powerful if they wake her up. Don't wake her up.
Don't wake that up.
You
She
leave that
Diablerized
door
someone.
closed. You put the crystal cap back on top and you walk away.
all right, Andy, your turn.
And this is a hard question because it's not happy ending that she believes in, because any semblance of this story is going to be a bad end. She's been a ghoul for like twice the amount of time she hasn't been. Like, she's in her 70s. If she doesn't get what she needs, she's going to rapidly age and die. She's also, well versed enough in kindred politics that she doesn't want to be a kindred either. So essentially, her happy ending is to make sure she has enough of an independent blood source, which she kind of has at the moment, pending, storyteller plotline shenanigans.
Oops, all goes too.
And, basically try to get her own life under her own control, because she's got the skills. She can move money. She knows how to maneuver in political and legal means. It's just she doesn't have anything right now. So until she gets something, it's a little too far off right now.
Okay. And does Ollie believe in a happy ending? And if so, what's it look like?
Ollie is not smart enough to realize that the world he exists in now is not full of happy endings. And on some level, I think his happy ending was when he was embraced on some level, because it allowed him the time and the resources and support to create his art, and develop it and actually get at some point decent at it.
Wait, are you saying now in Ollie's life is his happy?
In some level, yeah. This is his happy ending, which is very. It is what it is. Okay, this existence is Ollie's happy ending. Now it's full of a bunch of bullshit, but it's fun bullshit. We all love it. But
as the storyteller, I have a firm understanding that there is no happy ending in the world of darkness. It's all
shades of gray.
Shades of gray. It's moderation at best, where you can say, well, it's not as terrible as it could have been. I've put off terrible for another day, but another day will come.
As a player, I recognize this. Yeah. Ollie doesn't have any clue.
But I also I do like that the characters, while they have their cynical streaks, they also have their hopeful streaks. They do try. Even if they are cynical about it in their heads, they still try, and that's actually a compelling story for me.
They have aspirations.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have another question.
That's a good leeway into the next question, actually.
As vampires are eternal, they have long view goals. What is your long-term goal, and what time frame does your character believe it will take?
Again, a very weird question for Sage, because she's in a very weird part of her limbo life, I guess, as a ghoul. I guess her goal is just to, again, make sure the coterie, survives. Because as much as Sage is a ghoul, it was revealed in an earlier episode that she wasn't always Feather's ghoul. She was Feather's sire's ghoul for a little bit, to see if she'd be up to that lifestyle. So it'd probably be the same thing that she's always done. Just keep them safe, keep them from pissing off stronger kindred. Looking at everyone here.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
And
okay.
That's probably gonna be the thing that kills her, honestly. So probably until the day she dies.
I didn't do anything.
how about Prunella? Does she have any long-term goals, and how long does she think they're going to take to hit?
Well, she does have a goal. I don't know if I would call it long term, but Prunella has a goal of wanting to steal Hawk and make him her ghoul because she loves him.
Oh,
Speaking of things she does not.
all right.
Has, like, this
But then,
interesting
yeah, otherwise
triangle
it's the same
going.
as the happy ending thing with she wants to have her own brand. She wants to be relevant in the world of fashion. And I'm gonna get. I would say 5 years.
All right. Feather.
Feather wants to make someone enlightened like her. That is her ambition and her long-term goal.
She wants to become a mom.
No, she wants to help someone reach enlightenment.
She wants to help
becoming a mom.
someone reach.
She wants someone to be enlightened,
Uh-huh.
like her.
She wants to directly help someone get enlightened. Yes, she's becoming a mom.
She's a guru.
Sure.
How long do you think
Spell
that
it
will take?
SIRE.
I don't know. Like, we'll see. Like, the second Sage falls over and is dying, you know what I'm doing. I've also
Feathers there so fast.
Feathers there so fast. I've also just straight up told you that, like, I will. Like, the second I can Diablerize someone, I probably will.
I'm gonna lock my door.
Uh-huh.
Right?
No, you guys are fine. You belong to You're Feathers people. She'll only eat people she doesn't like that are hurting her people.
Okay.
You guys are good.
I mean, if I get an opportunity to Diablerize number 2, I'm doing it. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's unlikely at this point. But
I mean, I'm just saying.
Does Amelia have any long-term goals?
Yes, actually. She wants to get to the point where, if not independent in the supernatural sense, because, ghouls, basically addicts through and through, at least be in the material world independent. Because, and in fact, there is a potential there with Prue's endeavor of trying to establish her own fashion line. She is working with, I assume, either a Toreador or a Bruja. I'm not really sure who at this point, but
Alice is a Toreador.
But they need somebody with the know-how to make sure that they don't get screwed over on any potential deals that they make, right? And somebody who is navigating this whole thing, right? She could probably get a cut of the percentages herself, because she is putting in the work to make sure that those assets are protected. So that will probably take a fair while, at least a couple of years. But if they make it, if this clothing line is a success, then guess who's on retainer and lives in a really nice apartment.
That's fair. Ollie have any long-term goals? I mean, you already talked some of it, but
I mean, realistically speaking, I'm not sure Ollie really fully grasps long-term goals. He lives sort of in the moment, right? He is, I'm gonna do what's in front of me, and that's enough for him.
He lost 3 months in his room.
I mean, apparently, whatever. But yeah, I think that his outlook is more like just sort of, I have all the time, and I've got enough resources, and I've got a few $1 million paintings just chilling in my room for reasons.
We are sitting with crime in our house.
I mean, yeah, that's a thing. We should probably
serious
sell
crime.
those.
We should get rid of those.
Oh yeah, all the art.
I found them in an old storage unit. I don't know what you're talking. I didn't steal any art. You can't link me to the art.
So there is a question that I'm going to answer. Are any of you keeping tally of the violations of the masquerade and the party is committed? Yes, I
Yes.
am.
I stopped counting a
Wait,
long
no,
time
no.
ago.
I genuinely stopped counting a while
Wait,
ago.
we violated
What's
the masquerade?
masquerade?
What are you
What-
talking about?
What's a masquerade?
Yeah.
It's the rules of this
It's the
LARP.
rules
Remember,
of the
Feather?
Oh my god.
It's the rules of the LARP.
Next question. If you had a choice of weapons for any encounter, what would it be and why?
What's our count at? I want to know what our count is.
Don't worry
Yes.
about it.
How many,
It's
how
too
many- How many episodes are we on? That many?
I was
2
about to-
per episode.
At
Fair enough.
least.
just
Every
Coming up
time we
on
go to the window, basically.
We're coming up on our 21st episode. So,
Yeah.
but weapons, I don't. You lot do not actually strike me as a weapon crew. This is not a weapon.
We haven't
crew.
really been faced with a. Well, I mean, does Feather count?
Feather is the weapon.
Feather's
Feather
the weapon we bring everywhere we go.
Go.
We bring Feather. She's
this
terrifying.
is Feather is our big stick. Otherwise, we talk very softly. Well,
Yeah.
Prue
This
might
is
be an
not-
exception, but
I
This
mean-
is not really a weapon crew for the most part.
I mean, I've vaguely mentioned to you a few times to justify Dots how I wanted Sage to start like getting into like firearms
Sure.
and stuff. Because one of the lost episodes that we will never get to air was that badass moment of Sage just being like, "Leave," and I compel the hunter to walk away
She did. She did.
in the middle
That's
of the
awesome.
daylight,
watched
just being a badass. And that would have been the moment where
was
it's
so
like,
good.
oh, Sage is not like Feather, where she's just about crystals and enlightenment. No, Sage is scary.
Sage
And
is
her-
with it.
And she has a boyfriend who's kind of a mobster. So
Kind
Listen,
of.
He's kind of a bunch of things currently.
Listen, it's fine.
he's a
It-
Renaissance man.
Listen, we haven't even discussed how old he is yet, and him and Sage need to have that talk, apparently.
Because it's
He's-
gross.
He's also 100% submerged directive.
Oh,
100%.
I have a feeling almost every ghoul now, except for
Has
Amelia
some-
at this point, is.
has submerged directive on them.
which is brilliant. If Eileen has decided to create a unknowing army of sleeper agent ghouls,
That's
is
dangerous.
brilliant and dangerous. And I feel like
She has
if we were allowed to talk to certain people, we could
Yeah.
make them deal with it for us.
so
maybe I should call the duck.
I'm actually going to.
Oh,
We'll get back to that. Here's another question for Sage specifically from the Coffee Man.
Okay.
As the star athlete prospect, what clan does the party want Sage to be?
Gangrel.
Ooh.
That was quick.
That was
Kata?
quick.
That
Think
actually-
about who I play. What do I think about? What would I say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gangrel.
I think she'd make an excellent caitiff.
Is that an oxymoron?
I think
Uh,
it's fitting.
You're a
I think it's the
Toreador
most
ghoul now.
fitting.
You can't say shit like that.
I mean, I'm still Team Mage, but I think I'm outvoted on this one.
No, I'm Team Mage, but I think both of them made it pretty clear that we're never going down that path. So just
Well, hold on.
We've been talking,
I-
and
they do not currently have a B5 rule set for mages. I may, over the Christmas time period, write up my version of it
ooh.
just to see what it would look like. Because I'm a mage nerd. I love mage
No.
so much. So
No.
so
Oh
I
my
might
God.
write my own version of
you
it.
like magic?
whenever we have time, Jeremiah, I need to talk to you about this mage LARP that I was at a couple of years ago. It's called Mage Noir, and it took place shortly after World War II. So
Nice.
Excellent.
I'm
Excellent.
Listening. That's my jam right there. I love
Oh
it.
my god, I'm so.
Well, we're here to talk about Vampire Newark
yeah.
by Nights.
So, a couple of votes for Mage, a vote for Kadif, a vote for Gangrel.
I honestly, just because I think it would be funny, I would just say Ravnos and just have her, just constantly bouncing
She's
around.
compelled to leave. She doesn't want to stay.
Yeah.
Like the first night, like not realizing I'm a Ravnos, just wake up screaming in agony. Everyone's just like, "What happened?" I don't know. I just woke up.
Look,
And
you
it
get to roll
burns.
2 dice, and if you get, I think it's a 10 on both of them, then you wake up screaming. You're fine.
Yeah.
I forget the exact rule. It's something like that, though.
But I will let the audience a little bit behind the curtain. I have made a list that I keep forgetting to send to Jeremiah because I am a terrible player of clans that if Sage gets embraced, and as a player, I'm like, her story as a ghoul is done. It's time to embrace her. Here is the list. I do not want to know which one you pick. That'll be a thing, and Jeremiah will be picking the clan that Sage gets embraced as.
And as is often the case in any good game, I communicate with the player what they want. If they want a change, like if they're a ghoul and they want to be a vampire, I don't spring that on them. I wait for them to tell me that's what they want, is what I'm saying. Because it's important to have that communication and talk to people.
There was also a follow-up in the subsequent one. What clan do you think Amelia would end up being a part of?
Same question. Yeah. What clan should Amelia
said
be?
it. Nosferatu.
Amelia actually would be a good. Like, I do think she would make an excellent Ventru, but like I feel like she'd be good for a Fortitude clan, like one of the clans that has Fortitude, just because her mind is a steel trap.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see you as a straight, like.
I
don't want to say stereotypical, but you could be a Lasombra, like down the center.
Ooh.
You very much so could carry that.
At least, especially like with going through like what Sage has seen and like gotten to know about Amelia, I would see her as a Bruja. Like Sage would be like, okay, we're doing this, Amelia. You pick your clan, I'll pick mine. Oh, you pick a Bruja? Cool.
Can you just imagine that, like, Amelia just like loses her fucking cool and it's just like, all right, you want to fucking go?
She goes ollie on somebody.
See, I don't know. I could see Hakata personally.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Ooh, okay.
So
Would it be so weird
that's the answer.
because then Amelia becomes incredibly goth all of a sudden?
All of a sudden.
Amelia's been kind of rocking the businesswoman, straight talk,
sort of like,
attorney. Like that's why I think as a Nosferatu or a Lasombra, she'd really
she's
do
very
well.
corp goth, like,
but you
when
bring
she
Hakata
wants to
into
be,
it,
like corporate with a little bit of like an alternative flair, and I dig it.
I like it. I like it.
So like Hakata, I'm just like Amelia is suddenly really into new stuff. She's
really
got
into
some
the
new
news.
focuses in her daily thoughts. Like it just seems really out of nowhere.
Oh, and that ghost that keeps popping around, I can talk to her now. What?
I still surprise twist. Even then, she doesn't talk.
Hey! Can you tell Cecil to stop crying? I I still have his notebook and stuff, but I really want him to stop crying when I read his poetry. I'm crying enough as it is.
So this will play into another question. Who's your favorite and your character's favorite NPCs?
Oh man.
Ooh. Well, we all know Sage's favorite NPC. That's a given. It's Bryce. Like that's her boo. That's her strong, strapping boyfriend with blue hair that apparently is much older than she realized. My favorite NPC. that one's a tough one because I really like Amelia, partially because you like broke my heart with her and Prue.
But she's a PC.
Yeah, it's SPC.
I'm not Amelia.
Oh, Alice.
Alice.
Why'd I
I didn't know.
sick brain?
I still can't believe you didn't know.
I
She
thought about it
loves
and
you.
thought about it and thought about it like every single interaction, and I just don't see where it happened. Where was I supposed to?
Sometimes it just
That's fine.
doesn't. Sometimes you just don't see it until it
I
happens.
just didn't have any clue.
That makes it better.
Ronaldo's also another favorite. I also really like Francis as a player. Like as a character, I despise him. She's just like no.
Francis is my favorite as a player.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's Francis if I had to pick just one.
Crafty?
It as a character, Feather adores Mr. Francis. Super nice. Gives her rocks all the time. And she also knows he's the one to text if she needs someone to tell her to do something sketchy.
Because none of us will let you do it.
Yeah, you won't let me do it. He'll tell me to do it.
So Mouse?
What?
Whose favorite is Von Willebrand?
That tracks.
I was like, who would Prue even? Oh,
Or Hawk?
Cat.
Really? Von Willebrand over Hawk?
because there is a potential for Hawk to be played. I don't consider him on the docket, even though he hasn't been yet, because he's inspired by a person to play him. I wouldn't put Hawk as the one because he's a future SPC.
Technically, he would still be an SPC, just be a guest.
Yeah. But yeah, he since he's going to be played, I'm like, I don't consider him like an NPC. But when you made Von Willebrand disappear briefly, I was like, I swear to
my fucking cat.
Where's my goddamn cat? I will commit all the breaches.
How about Andi?
Wait! I didn't say the players.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
My player favorite is Prunella's gay friend.
Paolo.
I love Paolo. I love watching McCoy play Paolo. It's my favorite thing in the world. Great.
McCoy as Paolo hitting on Ollie. Great.
That's my favorite part. It's my favorite part.
But Paolo is fabulously gay, and I just lean into it and just go. And
he is Will and Grace.
It's like Nathan Lane. I get Nathan Lane vibes in the best way.
Oh, Birdcage. Oh yeah.
Yes.
He is definitely one of my touchstones for coming up with what his voice sounds like in my head. Nathan Lane, definitely.
He's chewing gum.
Andi?
So, out of character, I quite enjoy the interactions with Mr. Francis, from the tone, the pacing of his speech, his motivations, just all around a delight whenever, I share a scene with that particular one. In character, it's kind of hard to say because, Amelia doesn't exactly have a favorite, but if I were to say, I'd say Ronaldo, probably, because it's the one semblance of, in her mind, of some sort of control that she has. It's just sort of oh, this guy is somebody who should be in hospice right now. I'll take care of him. Just gently nudge him towards wherever he needs to go. That's fine.
In his robe and thong.
In his robe and his thong, and just trying to pretend that that's not an issue. And basically just that Ventru programming in the back of her brain going, okay, we need to do something about this.
Yeah,
I can see it. I definitely can see it. How about you, Wax?
Yeah, I think Ollie's favorite NPC is probably Phil. He's inspired him and forcefully on some levels to really focus on his art. And he helped him out when he was in a bind. It helped him, help his friends. So yeah, probably Phil. As a player, I think my Wex's favorite NPC is Feather's mom.
Is Feather around?
I am a bit more
phone call
progressive.
is on
You
the
have
missing-
multiple roommates now.
Oh, you have multiple. Oh, honey, it's okay. I used to have a roommate. They don't know. That was in the last episode. They don't know how great that
Nobody
was.
understands.
No one gets it. How we lost our shit for 5 minutes because McCoy said, I had a roommate in college.
And then
I understand. I had a roommate too in college. It was not. It's fine.
It's
I'm
a
not
time for
judging.
experimenting. I'm not judging.
The fact that the joke just keeps growing. Like she thinks we're literally like
lesbian
either
couple.
swingers or a polycule, and it's just like I support it. It's fine.
Bye.
She's like, I was in New York in the 60s. It was normal then.
It was normal then.
Everybody was doing it. Vietnam, the Beatles,
As the storyteller, because I have to have all of these NPCs in my head. The one I have the most fun doing, I think, and I have fun doing all of them. Honestly, I have fun making, having Eileen's villainous sort of turns with the various characters and the antagonism that comes with that. I love Alice trying her best, trying to flirt with Prunella and having Prunella not notice at all. Paolo, I enjoy playing Paolo. He's just so over the top. Ronaldo, all of them. But the one I've had the most fun playing is Mr. Francis.
Mr. Francis.
He loves you.
Hi.
He
Loves
thinks the world of you. He loves
Love it.
Feather. Feather
Love
is so good. Feather
Such a
is
good girl.
so good. She's got so much potential. And Sage, we just need to bring Sage into the family. It'll be fun.
you can forget about it.
You stay the fuck away from her.
Francis sees Feather and is just like, I can weaponize this.
Like he already has, and to some degree.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
Feather weaponizes herself. What are you talking about?
Something about once I hit that particular tone of voice, and I start talking, and he has this oily personality,
I
and
love it.
and
It could have been ministry.
it gets into my head, and I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna quit, run. So there is a question I see here from Coffee Man 71. Story beats during my arcs. Are you doing? I have lines to hit for story beats on my arcs. Sort of. Like I know where everything's going. Like I have written down what all of the characters do, right? The various NPCs and SPCs and what their plans are doing in the background. So even if the PCs don't interact with them in the way I expect, I know what those characters are doing, and I play them out. But also there are times where I'm like, okay, you know what, this storyline's getting a little tired. We need to step away from it. So, the second gets taken away by the Midnight Circus. Because
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. There's plenty of things going on. I just didn't need him right then.
Yeah, no, let's rip Eileen apart and put her pieces in the sun, and then we can go back to Eddie.
Yeah, we can go back to Eddie.
I miss Eddie, not number 2. I miss Eddie.
Yeah, just Eddie.
My one-legged roommate.
How did we not pick up on that? It was so obvious.
Because we were so
His
focused on the
leg.
girl. We thought she was this
leg.
amazing.
It was so obvious, and then you were already gone. Then Crafty, he brings up, how did Paolo know about the art thing?
Yeah.
And I was like, What? And we put a piece of string on the bastard, so now we have nothing. We got.
I didn't think of that. How did Paolo know about the art thing? Oh fuck, he was right there.
As a slight aside, I just want to say something that Coffee Man posted. It's at the very bottom of the chat, but all of our roles, right? Prunella is the mom, Sage is the fixer, Ollie is the muscle, Feather is the instigator, and
100%.
Amelia is the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yep.
muscle? I'm just an artist. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he's
you're
just
talking
an artist. What are you talking
He's
about?
just an artist.
He
He's
doesn't
the
hurt
muscle.
people.
And I just sell crystals. It's fine.
There are actually a number of questions. I'm not certain we can hit all of them.
No.
Who did the awesome intro? That was done by Michael, the guy who owned
Our former producer.
our former producer, Omniversal Entertainment. He did that for us, and we are thankful for it. It is a great intro. In hindsight, yes.
I recall some other show was supposed to use that. It was made for a different show, and they gave him permission to use it for hours, and then he edited it slightly. I don't know what the other show was, but I don't know who originally made it. But he did not make it. He just got permission to use it.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
There was a question about if we could had the opportunity to obtain one discipline, what would it be?
Yeah, and as I said, I would like to have switched animalism and protein. I feel like that was a poor choice long run for my issues, such as needing to eat animals.
Yeah.
I wish I had taken
wonder-
animalism over protein.
Do you want to talk to the thing you're eating?
I wonder if Coffee Man is asking it in the way that, like, what would we as people want?
Oh.
Because it is also, there's also that hindsight question. It's like, what would you change, after character creation? And I think that might be, but yeah, we could use that as a lead-in, I guess.
I think as a person, this is gonna sound so messed up, but it's literally, I'm just viewing it from a job point, because I work in sales. I would have mesmerize just so I could make my quote. I wouldn't abuse it too much either. I'd find someone who looks like they got a lot of money, and I would just mesmerize them into buying a phone. I would just do it once a day just so I meet my quota. That's it.
Obfuscate wouldn't be a bad thing to have in real life.
I like details, so I definitely would go more the aspects route of like heightened senses and stuff like that.
Like, yeah, see the unseen.
Yeah, like I'm always looking for little details, so anything that would either help me spot that physically or like help me like read a person better.
You always win in escape rooms.
I am the worst person to have in escape rooms because I get very angry. I would make a very good Bruja real life.
Just take me to the escape room. I'm great at them.
I love puzzles. I would have a blast.
They make me irrationally angry. I love puzzles, but I hate them.
I hate people. I don't want to go to an escape room with other people. Just let me do it by myself.
But I'm good at puzzles.
Then you and me, nobody else.
So Andi and Alex, you got to answer the next question.
I'm thinking about it, and it's either they're both opposite ends of things. Like on the one hand, having unseen presence and just being able to walk past without anybody noticing that I exist would be pretty dope. Because then I could just be like, all right, well, I'm going to cover my face, be completely nondescript, and I'm just going to walk into this vault real quick, take some things, and then I'm going to walk out. And then they'll see on the camera footage, who the fuck is this random person that looks like Slender Man that just walked past everything? On the other hand, though, I wouldn't mind presence.
Presence would be dope.
Just go up to somebody who...
Give me
How
like you
easy
were
is it to become famous when you actually have that,
Ooh, true.
Yeah.
You need star magnetism, though.
Star magnetism.
Because all I would really do is like, because on the one hand, find somebody who's rich and just dominate them to give them money, whatever. Sure, but being able to just manipulate people.
Being able to like
my
wink
God.
and someone decides that you're a god.
Oh God.
We're
I
wonderful.
would. Oh, you do not want to give me any of these
Oh,
powers.
the world.
How about you, Wax?
I'm gonna go with blood sorcery mainly for the rituals, though.
I'm
course you
shocked.
would.
I'm shocked.
Of
Shocked to
course
hear
you
say that.
would.
You? Rex?
Mr. Blood Sorcery main here.
I mean,
Actually-
like, it's very versatile. You can do all kinds of cool things with blood sorcery. If you have all the rituals, there's so much you can
Yeah,
do.
but that's a
I
lot.
have been learning
Find
this since
missing
once the show's
people.
come
Like,
out.
that's cool. You could become a cop with that.
So
I don't wanna be a
save
cop.
So many lives.
So here's the problem
And steal so much
with
stuff
blood
from the
sorcery.
Kindred.
It sounds great when you're doing it in your head.
Uh-huh.
It is less great when you have a bucket full of blood in front of you.
It's fine if you do it in Florida. No one's gonna bat an eye in
No
Florida.
one's
Just
gonna
be like,
question
that's
it in
normal.
Florida.
Like
That's
Or
normal.
Ohio.
Florida, walk
No
around
one's
with your
gonna
bucket of
question Ohio
blood,
either.
ride on your ostrich. It's normal.
But like,
Look. If you understood like the conversations that take place at my dinner table, you'd understand that that's not that big of a deal.
You know what? This is facts. This is
Yeah.
facts.
I personally, I almost all of my characters have aspects in some degree,
yeah.
and it's always a curse, because it always backlashes.
I also, I want to change mine because I remembered
what?
one. I want vicissitude solely only so I could do basically what Becky did and change
Oh,
my
just
hair
change your
every
hair.
day.
I would do mine.
Change my
too.
hair every day and be like, oh,
If you
my trans
if-
friends want reaffirming
gender affirming
surgery?
flesh
Boom.
crafting, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
gender
there
affirming
you
flesh
go.
crafting.
Which is a very good one. I would want the salubri powers, Valerian and
Those are fun.
Obea. Basically, being able to heal people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I would want too.
Yeah.
I would just want healing powers.
I just want to. I would like to be able to like go to my friends who are having a hard time and make their life easier.
Well, that'd be nice.
I would be a member of the clergy and basically haunt hospitals using my powers as I did visitations and just heal the world, you know.
Oh, so like a faith healer, but it works.
But
But
it
it
worked.
works.
Yeah.
Mags. I would go be Mags. I would just go be Mags.
You know what you should do with that is like you should go to like actual faith healer tents and just outdo them and just be like, this guy's bullshit, doesn't know
This
what he's
guy's
talking
bullshit.
You
about.
don't,
love
believe me?
this.
You don't believe me that he's bullshit? Give me your hand. You
Yeah,
can-
I did say that if I had D&D cantrip, it would be spare the dying for similar reasons. There's a lot of pain in the real world. It's fun to play around with this stuff, but I'd like to maybe help relieve it in the real world. That's what I would go with is the salubri abilities, because healing people is nice. So I do have a question. For all of my beautiful players,
Sus.
we've been doing this campaign overall for a year. Where do you see your characters in a year?
Dead.
Dead.
Turned.
Technically also
So
dead.
dead.
So dead.
Dead.
Probably hanging out with Petrichor Girl in the Fey Forest.
He's gonna be behind the misty hard door. He's just
Oh
gonna,
yes, so that's so hard door.
The
he's
hard
gonna be
door.
behind that really hard, dirty door.
He's gonna be the one. He's gonna be like fucking Bacchus in the Feywild, just fucking just hedonism and art.
That sounds like that's actually
That's Ollie's
Ollie's
real
happy
happy.
ending.
Always happy ending.
Always happy ending.
He wants to go back
Okay,
to that
well-
forest he spent 3 months in. Like he just wants to go.
One is
As long as they can get a pizza delivered there, Ollie would be set. Like he
he
would
just
be.
conjures a pizza for you.
That's fine. That's fine.
And you can eat it magic.
It's got weird
Yeah.
mushrooms on it though.
No,
No, apparently he had a heartbeat in that Fey realm, so maybe he was all alive.
Well, there's no forks and knives, so you really have to just eat it with your hands. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's pizza. Is
McCoy?
there another way to eat it?
McCoy,
Put the fork
I
down.
swear to God, McCoy. I swear to fucking God.
I actually took delight out of your suffering from seeing that.
Like,
And in fact, I might just join him.
Oh,
No!
you're just starting to eat pizza with
Legit.
a fork and a knife.
legit.
Yes.
What a waste of
We
dishes.
just wanted pizza. We just wanted to hang out, relax, and then I come out of I don't even know where I went. I went into the other room and he's like asking for a fork and knife. I didn't even know the pizza was there because we had food at the apartment already. And then all of a sudden I see him and I'm like, I swear to God, my Long Island is coming out and I cannot handle this.
That's actually the way to eat pizza in Italy.
Okay, enough with this. This is America. We eat pizza with our hands like the Neanderthals we are.
All right, here's another question for my players. What's something you haven't seen yet that you want to see?
Ooh.
Oh,
A Ravnos. I want a mischievous trickster Ravnos. So bad. Easy answer for me.
I don't know if it was explored in the past game, but I kind of want to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in more than a cameo.
Hey, if you're going to acknowledge one thing from DC, then
Yeah. If
Then-
one thing
Batman,
We're not near
God.
Gotham.
Metropolis, like we're just if one thing from DC is going to exist, that means all of
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is not from DC.
No.
Then how'd
No,
they
that's,
do Ninja
that's Dark
Turtles and
Horse, right?
Batman?
Or is
They-
it Image?
They did a crossover between the companies.
Oh, okay. But I was like, Batman and Ninja Turtles was the whole arc.
Fun fact though, in New York City there is an Airbnb that looks like the Ninja Turtle lair. And you can rent it out, and it has
The first
skateboard
one or
ramps
the
and stuff.
second one?
It looks so cool. I've been wanting to get a group together to just rent it out for a night.
The
amazing.
first layer or the second layer?
I don't know, but if you're this big
The
into Ninja
substation?
Turtles, I need to send you a thing because Skull Candy has a collab with Ninja Turtles right now, and the headset looks cool and it glows in the dark.
Okay.
Turtles
So
are just Mokole and Glabra.
another Ninja Turtle appearance might
it's
not
not.
go awry. Good to know.
Werewolves, that would be my answer.
More werewolves would be good.
Yeah, I would like more werewolves. I'd like that a lot.
Preferably not trying to murder me, but I'll take what I can
Hey,
get.
we were just trying to have a conversation in the park. Got so mad.
Because werewolves.
Didn't we run into another one too, where he was just like a stoner?
Yeah, and then he got so mad just because we asked a question.
Oh, I
Other
didn't
was trying to
realize-
make friends.
I don't. Why do
Even
I feel
after
like
he
we
told
ran
me
into
I felt
multiple
better than the
werewolves?
rest of them, he still got mad.
All right.
I would want to see the cam show up here. I think that would be fun.
Oh lord.
I want the
Elements
cam.
of the cam have shown up. I will say that.
I know, but like I want a full
Yeah.
a full episode where we're just dealing with cam bullshit.
Yeah. Miss Aisling's ghoul has been hanging out.
Yeah.
She showed up to the
Ashley's
art gallery.
because she was told to by
Yeah.
you.
By
you, all that. Paolo, I have to kill Paolo now. Great.
So here's another one I have for the players. This is sort of a general opening for you to ask a question, actually.
Ooh, okay.
What's something that has come up that you want an answer about? What's something that you just like you don't know what's going on there and you want an answer to?
The willow tree.
The willow tree?
I feel like it's Malcolm, but I also don't think it's Malcolm. I don't know. I'm very confused. The willow tree and Feather's web
In the last
web
episode.
blocks. I call them. Oh my god, yeah. I had a whole in one of the last episodes. I had a whole ass. The whole session was in Feather's mind, and it was great.
It is crap that we have the other 3 vignettes, and the only one we lost is yours.
You
It is
didn't get
crap.
to see it. I talked to a duck. I talked to Harold. I talked to a tree. It was great.
Oh man, the hospital session was really good.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that
so
was good.
crazy. With Ollie or Nurse Nancy.
Nancy.
Nancy. I almost
Poor
killed her.
Nancy.
So the willow is a representation of Malkov's will on the cobweb. That doesn't mean that you were directly contacting a conscious Malkav, but it's a reflection of his will on the cobweb.
Listen, all I know is I have that 5th dot of the Cobweb lore sheet, and I'm waiting for that.
Sure. Anyone else got a question?
I do.
I don't understand why Gold didn't do anything to Prue. Why he, even after she literally was provoking him intentionally, and he still refused to do anything against her and was like, "No, I'll hurt your friends." Like,
So there are 2 reasons.
Oh boy.
One is going to tie back to something that we've covered already. Namely, that Prunella does not realize things about people around her.
her player doesn't either.
Yeah. So I, as the storyteller, realized that Prunella was the most antisocial member of the coterie. She is the most antisocial character of all the players. So I directed multiple romantic interests at her because it was funny.
I thought it would be funny.
It was funny.
Gold is
Oh.
one of them.
Oh my
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I didn't catch that.
He said
Gold is one of them.
he
He's
threw
got a friend
multiple love interests at her.
And Gold is one of them.
Multiple.
Gold is one of them.
She has a Fran Drescher kink.
Face right now.
It's
So-
the same face I had when somebody in the chat says that Prunella's the mom, and I was like,
You are.
yeah, the neglectful like bitch from Annie who makes you scrub the floors and wear your clothes for a week before you can wash them. Sure.
She's also like fierce about defending each and every other member of the apartment. Like,
Oh, that's just convictions being enacted. That's
but
Yeah,
yes,
mom convictions.
that was one reason why Gold didn't punish her.
I don't know. What's
The
mom
other
is
re-
about supporting self-expression?
The other reason is he has a conviction. He will not harm women.
That's why he hit Ollie.
That's why.
That's why he staked Ollie when he was angry at Feather.
Hey, hey, Feather. That's good news for Feather.
Hey,
Gold will
just
never
'cause-
kill you himself.
I'm moving. I'm moving.
guys. Just because it's a conviction doesn't mean you can't break it.
Yeah.
I firmly believe he would have torn Feather's head off. Much like Feather has the conviction to never kill, and she killed someone at the carnival.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
You-
she's rocking some stains.
We
Yeah.
both lost humanity that session.
Yep.
I didn't even know ghouls could lose
mhm.
humanity.
See why we think we're all
We
gonna
have
be dead in
convictions
here?
too. Sage has 4
Yeah.
convictions currently.
I mean, just like with humans, in some ways, like if you kill a person, it becomes easier to do it later
Mhm.
because you've already gotten the one out of the way.
Well, yeah, and with your humanity lower,
Yeah.
you are
Right.
farther from the things that make you hesitate, that make you feel these
Yeah.
From
PTSD from killing people in war is actually just the morality gameplay mechanic of trying to regain your humanity.
well, I don't want to oversimplify an actual mental health problem there, but
Yeah, no.
I speak from
I
personal
understand.
experience, but
I understand. What I was going to say from a mechanical standpoint is human beings don't always have the highest humanity out there. Most of them aren't up to like a humanity 8, for instance.
Most are a 6.
6 or a
They're-
7.
yeah, they said like 7 is the baseline. Like, yeah, you're not going to commit anything major, but you might steal from time to time, especially if it's a big store. You might break the speed limit and not
I want
give
to
a
feel the
fuck.
rush.
Yeah.
I just need to feel something.
Empathy is hard.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of make a choice to be empathetic. And that is really what humanity seems to measure in Vampire is your empathy. And the more empathy you have, the harder it is to hurt people. The more you hurt people, the less your empathy holds up. But yeah, I everybody runs into that problem in real life, and in the systems of the game, that's how it's reflected.
I mean,
What?
shoot, it's like successfully, making a humanity check after acquiring stains.
Mhm.
Your reward is you feel bad about the things you did.
Yeah. Yeah, if you make a remorse check, that means you managed to feel remorse for doing something awful.
What question? What question
yeah.
does Katie have for
Yeah.
McCoy?
I'm like
Yeah,
still
Katie.
thinking because I mean I got a little bit of like a peek in the brain when Jeremiah and Tekka were talking about Hawk and like what they were gonna do for Hawk as we're sitting there waiting for the like Gen Con cosplay burlesque show to let out because we were just tired and waiting for the rest of our group. So I kind of not really like a game question, but I kind of want to know what Jeremiah would make Sage as a Kindred.
As a Kindred, I think story-wise, the more interesting one would be Tremere, just because of the conflicts that have happened between Mr. Francis. From a what I think the character would flourish under, Caitiff.
Yeah.
She would flourish as a caitiff. That just fits.
Perfect.
Any other questions along those lines?
I mean, I have a bunch, but I feel it would spoil so much of the story, so I'm going to wait until those are revealed.
How about you, X? You have any questions?
I kind of in the same boat of like I have things I want to know as a person, but I also don't want to know until I find out. If that makes sense, like I want to discuss with them. It's fun. I honestly I kind of suspected Gold had a thing for Prunella, but
Same.
Yeah.
Well, that one I could have picked up on, but I thought it was more mentory, fatherly, see myself in you kind of vibes.
I kind of got that
Kind
at
of
first
asked
too.
during-
he saw himself in you. That's for sure.
Yeah, get him a T-shirt that says "Big Things."
I mean, that's part of the reason why he feels it. I will, say that that's part of the reason why he feels attraction is that you're not what he expects.
You're a problem.
You're a problem.
And he's a problem. Like he's an ancilla caitiff, and he has survived.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know
You
he
know
was
he
an
was a Caden?
Ancilla. I didn't know
Yeah.
he was an
That he's
Ancilla.
only. I guess like we never asked how old, but it was assumed
I
that
did.
most of the upper people of the Anarchs in Jersey are not as old as they would have us believe.
Yeah. He is Ancilla. You have run into a few Ancilla. He's one. Maurice, Eileen.
Maurice was one.
Uh,
I knew Eileen was one.
yeah. They're all Ancilla. Technically, Francis is not Ancilla. He is just an old neonate.
Interesting.
An old, very powerful neonate, but he's technically a neonate.
Just studied real hard.
And ate some people. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
I
ate some
want a
people.
school bus from Eileen. Powerful. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But there is a question in the chat that I thought people might want to deal with.
Oh no.
As a World of Darkness story, it's McCoy's job to poke and push you towards your beast, help you make that fall into oblivion. Do you feel that McCoy does enough of that?
I do that to myself.
I wouldn't know. I don't have a beast yet.
I wrote my response earlier. Yeah. No, I think the dice have done it
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. I love a
hunger
messy crit every
Specifically,
session.
Feather and Ollie, you guys have had your dice drive you to your beast so much faster than McCoy ever could.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I think I think the answer is yes for me, and I think it is. I like it because you do it very subtly. Like, you put things in there like that poke the beast, so like you have to be aware of your own convictions to like recognize them, but they're not like you're currently being challenged by a conviction. It's like you should know that your conviction is in play, but it's not like in your face. I really enjoyed that. At least that's what I interpret. If I'm reading into it too much, that's on me. But that's how I see it. I like that. So,
Anyone else want to tackle the question?
Well, there's only 3 Kindred.
Yeah.
The 2 ghouls don't have to have their beasts poked.
But do
Yeah.
you feel like he pushes on your convictions?
Yeah, especially the main one that Amelia has is survival comes first.
Yep.
There have been a
Sorry,
number
we
of
make that-
times where like, because usually I like to play sort of like heroic characters. I'm playing somebody who's like, I'm number 1.
That's the
I'm
way
gonna
to
make
do
sure
it.
I get what I need. And
Yep.
so it's just like I would normally step in and be like, no, you can't talk to, my people like this. And it's just like I'm instead being like, hey,
Keep my head down.
you should be quiet right now.
Feather, stop it. Prunella, as your
you're not-
lawyer, I advise you to shut the fuck up.
I mean,
You're not my supervisor!
I love that TikTok that Andi did. Is just like, look, if you want to kibosh your defense, I'm getting paid anyway. Actually, you're not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. That is correct. Then what the fuck am I doing here?
I do to sort of address the question. I try to keep it subtle. I do not want to feel like I'm pushing them to try and challenge their beast. I'm just putting them in situations that make them ask questions of themselves. Whether it's the carnival, where I was trying to find ways of providing temptation that was less obvious, to like, this is going on. Are you going to do anything about it? With like
Absolutely.
what was going on to Cecil from Francis. Like for a while there, they were dealing with the fact that this guy, who admittedly tried to stake Sage once, was brutalized by Francis and then made to stay around them.
That killed Sage.
Wow.
That hurt her so much, which is why, because whenever the coterie would like ream into him, that's why she would be like, guys, lay off of him, because her convictions were like, no,
Stop it.
stop, back off. Like,
He's a little bitch.
yeah, he hurt me. Yeah, I want to punch him in the face still.
But yeah, I don't ever want it to feel like a bludgeon. If it's beginning like I'm to feel like I'm hitting them with it, I think that's too much. You got to make it feel more natural when you're giving people things that challenge them. At least that's my thinking. At least. There's another question also from Coffee Man, who is not asking too many questions. Thank you very much. What daytime thing does your vamp miss the most, or will miss the most if they be for the ghouls who they become vampires?
The one that comes to mind for me is sunrise breakfasts.
I was about to say, I feel Sage would miss those ghoul sunrise breakfasts.
Or it's just like, we know our bosses are asleep, but it's just like, finally.
Like, it's just an us, like, okay, now we can actually, like, rant about them for a second. I don't have Feather constantly going neurotic for just a little bit. Let's talk.
Goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
Okay.
Who want goat yoga studios open at night? Tell me, because I can't find one.
Fair. Ollie, it's definitely surfing. Like it's a significant portion of his backstory. Like he was very into it, very good at it, and he still does it at night sometimes, but it's just not the same.
Definitely not in Newark.
Not in Newark, yeah.
Yeah. Right, Mouse?
Shopping.
Shopping.
Prunella would miss going when stores are open, seeing women in their clothes down Fifth Avenue. Like, she would miss shopping. She would miss the other time when fashion is out and alive, in motion on people's bodies, going to the stores and seeing the women who buy designer. That's what she misses. She'd be more social if she could go shopping.
I just want to see color and natural lighting.
I just want to tell people that they're fabulous and ask them where they got stuff and then threaten to take their shoes from them. I just want to be normal.
We need you can't get a good golden hour at night.
Were you?
I just want to have breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah. Well. All right. Fair enough. I have a question for our originals, the ones who. So behind the scenes, I did not come up with Newark by Night. I didn't come up with this. This is not my creation. I was asked to be the ST for it. Because some of the previous ST options didn't work out for various reasons. We won't talk about that. But now that we've been doing it for a year, is it what you pictured in your head?
So much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much.
Yes.
It's better. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
It's a dark sitcom. It's exactly what we want.
It's what we do in the shadows in World of Darkness.
But
Yes.
funnier. I
But
think.
funnier.
I think we are. There are moments that I know that if the audience isn't crying from laughter, we are.
Yes.
Fair, yeah.
And to answer Coffeeman 71's question, are there any guest stars planned in the future? Yes.
We have
Working out the scheduling, so I don't want to say anything that the scheduling is worked out, but we have a couple of them that we are excited to bring on. It has been already mentioned that we plan on bringing Hawk on with somebody playing Hawk. So that'll be fun.
It's great.
Yeah, and it's possible that Prunella's sire might show up at some point.
I won't say who they got for them, but I blushed the second I found out.
Networking at Gen Con was fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I was just
like
like, oh my
still
God.
have to work out the scheduling, but if the scheduling gets worked out, I'm excited to have them on, both of them actually. And we've had a guest star before.
Yes.
We have had Rev DMC, the Dan
Our talk.
McCoy,
Our talk.
Micah.
Feather Sire.
Feather Sire was played by Dan McBride, who just TikTok, and we all have played with him before. We do him real well, and he had played the Micah before, so it was just asking him to bring him over and play Micah on our stream, and he and I conspired beforehand.
No.
Like we were like, okay, what are we going to do with this? And we had some fun with it, and it was a good episode. I
Good
liked
times.
it.
I'm just sitting there dying on a table. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Hallucinating, laugh tracks happening. It's fine.
Oh, I love those laugh tracks. That was fantastic.
That was a good episode.
That episode had me shaking in like the best ways. 'Cause I'm like, what? This is I'm all right. We're writing up a new
The
character.
Truman
Like Sage
Show.
is genuinely dying tonight.
It's a Truman Show situation.
Yeah. But actually we thought we were only going to be doing this for an hour, and we've gone a bit long. I think we're gonna wrap this up. There is one question I'll answer, and then we'll call it a night. Is there an end game planned? How long is your campaign planned for?
Oh God.
And the answer from me as an ST is I will end it when they say they're done. Till then, I will run it as long as they want.
Yay!
Because
I could see us wanting to stay in the universe, but wanting to
Eventually changing up
Yeah.
characters.
start with new characters at some point.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
would
still
love
Newark.
to do that.
But yeah, it's still the same universe. Yeah, I have absolute joy running games for all of these people. They're all amazing. The chemistry works. Like all of them bounce off each other so well. And I'm happy to be the ST for this band of chaos gremlins.
What? No.
I love dressing for stream.
Yeah.
Same. It's so comfy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most comfortable outfit I think I've ever put her in too.
Yeah. This some streams, because you're presenting to all this, all of the stuff you're doing, you feel a little bit of stress. Even if you're enjoying the game, you're feeling a little bit of stress. This is a stress relief for me. I do not feel stress. It is a thing that I do because it relieves so much stress.
Yeah. I ST'd 2 other VTM games, and I'm about to start DMing a D&D game. And this is what I do to wind down on the week.
I'll see you tomorrow, Crafty.
But anyways, we are going to wrap things up. We thank everybody who came and asked a bunch of really cool questions.
We love you guys. You make this show just as much fun for us because of all our followers. We really love people who like the story we're telling.
Absolutely.
Very grateful. 'Cause
Yeah.
not everyone likes a comedic dark world game.
Oh, they want all of our someone wants our Twitch handles and our TikTok handles. Okay, well, actually, go around. We could do the outro.
The question disappears and then our thing will come back.
Sure. Sorry. Hide. There we go. Yeah, and actually, the handles are underneath each of our things. Let's go ahead and do our usual. Everybody do their sort of outro. Starting from Sage and work our way over and around. Sage.
Hi, I'm Katie. I play Sage, Feather School, and you can find me on all the socials I have under DragonOfTheDarkRose. or Dragon of the Dark Roses. I'm starting to get that account back up and running too. And yeah, that's me.
I play Prunella the Ventru, and my handle is RageMouxe with an X and an E, or without an E. I have 2 accounts. One is VTM content, the other is D&D content. So don't get them mixed up, or just follow both.
Follow both.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Crafty Mirage. I play Feather. My TikTok handle is @crafty_mirage. I don't separate my accounts. You're getting VTM, you're getting D&D. I'm too lazy. I have too much going on in my life to do multiple TikTok accounts. It's just the one. I don't have a backup. If something happens to my account, oh well.
Hi, I'm Andi. I play Amelia the Ghoul. You can find me in pretty much any of the socials at andy.crimson. Like Crafty up there, I don't spend my time splitting between different accounts. So you're going to get some cyberpunk stuff. You're going to get some vampire stuff. You'll even get some trans stuff if I feel like talking about it.
I'm Wex, the resident himbo. Ollie, I have not made TikTok content in too long. I'm a ghost there, but it's a dark path. Perhaps one day I will find the motivation to get back into that.
You should just upload videos of your art.
Yes.
Every time you make a bunch of you should just show us the.
Yeah,
maybe I should do. Maybe I will film the actual creation process.
Just Ollie painting. All of your content is just Ollie painting.
When you get a messy crit, that gets in the video too.
Fair enough.
And as far as it goes, I am Jeremiah McCoy. Basics of the game on TikTok and here on Twitch, hence the channel that you're watching it on. I talk about D&D, vampire, tabletop role-playing games in general, and just things that interest me. I'm a nerd and a socially conscious one at times, so I will speak up when I feel I need to, and otherwise I try and be a welcoming geeky presence on the internet. And we love you all. Thank you very much, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.